Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian lawyer, anti-colonial activist, and political ethicist who employed nonviolent resistance to lead the successful campaign for India's independence from British rule. He is revered around the world as the Mahatma, meaning great soul, and his philosophy of nonviolent resistance inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the globe. So today we are going to tell you the biography of Mahatma Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869 in Porbandar, a small state in western India. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was the chief minister of Porbandar, and his mother, Putlabai, was a devout Hindu. From an early age, Gandhi displayed traits of greatness, showing remarkable self-discipline and an unwavering commitment to truth and justice. His family was upper caste Hindu, but Gandhi's concept of religious and social duties led him to question the rigidities of the caste system. As a young man, he became involved in the Indian National Congress, which aimed to secure greater autonomy for Indians under British rule. But his initial efforts at political activism proved unsuccessful, and he soon left for South Africa in 1893. In South Africa, Gandhi encountered racial discrimination firsthand, facing prejudice and violence as an Indian immigrant. This experience had a profound impact on him, shaping his views on civil rights and nonviolent resistance. During this time, he developed his philosophy of satyagraha, which combines truth, love, and nonviolent resistance to oppression. Gandhi organized successful campaigns against discriminatory laws and practices, most notably the famous 1913 passive resistance campaign against Asiatic registration laws. Through these struggles, he gained recognition as a leader of the Indian community in South Africa, and his reputation grew within the wider anti-colonial movement. After 21 years in South Africa, Gandhi returned to India in 1915, where he took on the mantle of leadership in the Indian National Congress, or INC, at a pivotal moment in India's struggle for independence from the British Raj. Recognizing the need for mass movement, he embarked on several tours across the country, mobilizing people from diverse backgrounds, including peasants, industrial workers, and students. These tours were not just political campaigns, but also spiritual journeys. He emphasized the importance of self-reliance, simple living, and communal harmony. This approach resonated deeply with the Indian populace, transforming ordinary citizens into active participants in the freedom struggle. However, Gandhi's leadership was often met with skepticism and opposition, particularly from those who viewed his nonviolent methods as ineffective or even appeasement. Critics questioned whether a weak and divided India could ever hope to challenge the might of the British Empire. Nevertheless, Gandhi remained steadfast in his principles, refusing to compromise on his commitment to nonviolent resistance. Despite the challenges, Gandhi's influence continued to grow. He played a pivotal role in the formation of the Swaraj Party in 1923, which aimed to secure self-rule, or Swaraj, for India. The party's participation in the elections was a significant step towards mass politics in India, although it ultimately did not achieve its immediate goals. In the following years, Gandhi led several movements that directly challenged British rule. The non-cooperation movement of 1920, for instance, called for a mass boycott of British goods and institutions. While it initially gained momentum, it eventually faced setbacks due to the violent activities of some of its participants. Despite the movement's mixed results, it demonstrated the potential of mass mobilization in the struggle for independence. As the 1930s approached, the intensity of India's struggle for independence grew. The British government's repressive policies, including the notorious Simon Commission, which was meant to address constitutional reforms without any Indian representation, further fueled resentment among the Indian population. In response, Gandhi launched the civil disobedience movement in 1930. This movement, also known as the Salt Satyagraha, was a direct challenge to the British government's monopoly on salt production and trade. The movement began with Gandhi's famous 240-mile walk to the sea, where he violated the law by making salt from seawater. This act of defiance was both symbolic and practical, as it highlighted the absurdity of the British laws. while providing Indians with a cheaper alternative to the exorbitantly priced salt produced by the British. This movement gained widespread support and participation, turning it into one of the largest acts of civil disobedience in the history of the Raj. It also exposed the true colors of the British Raj, which was supposed to be a period of self-governance, but instead was marked by increasing repression and violence. Despite its massive scale, the civil disobedience movement was eventually called off due to Gandhi's willingness to negotiate with the viceroy and the outbreak of the Second World War, although no significant concessions were made during the talks. Gandhi's efforts did result in the release of many political prisoners. However, the war would soon overshadow this achievement. With Britain's entry into the Second World War, the British government adopted a conciliatory approach, offering limited concessions such as the 1940 Government of India Act. This act, however, fell short of India's demand for full independence. Moreover, it failed to address the concerns of those who argued that the British government was exploiting India's resources and manpower to benefit Britain during the war. In the face of these challenges, Gandhi continued to advocate for independence. Following the war, he initiated the Quit India movement in 1942, demanding that the British government immediately leave India. This movement was more radical than previous ones, calling for a complete break with the British Raj. Unfortunately, this movement turned violent and Gandhi was arrested, which led to a brutal crackdown. Many activists were imprisoned and thousands lost their lives. Nonetheless, the movement shook the foundations of the Raj, accelerating the process of decolonization. Finally, on August 15, 1945, after more than 2 centuries of British rule, India gained independence. Unfortunately, the joy of independence was short-lived as the country was soon engulfed in religious violence and mass migrations as Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs were displaced from their homes in what is now Pakistan and India. Gandhi played a heroic role during this time, attempting to mediate between communities and promote peace and understanding. He believed in the unity and integrity of India and saw the partition as a tragedy. His efforts to address the communal violence led him to undertake fasts and undertake tours to affected areas. Despite his best efforts, the violence persisted, and on January 30, 1948, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by a Hindu extremist. Gandhi's assassination sent shock waves around the world. Leaders and activists from across the globe mourned the loss of this great soul, who had embodied nonviolent resistance and the pursuit of justice. His death left a void in the Indian political landscape, but his legacy continues to inspire generations of Indians and people around the world. Mahatma Gandhi's contribution to India's independence and the global civil rights movement cannot be overstated. He was a pioneer of nonviolent resistance, a champion of social justice, and a beacon of peace and harmony. His life and teachings serve as a timeless example of how one person with unwavering principles and determination can inspire millions to fight for freedom and equality. During his lifetime, Gandhi received numerous awards and recognitions for his contributions to society. However, perhaps his greatest legacy is the transformation of millions of Indians who followed his lead and actively participated in the freedom struggle. He empowered ordinary citizens to become agents of change, breaking free from the shackles of oppression and embracing the power of nonviolent resistance. The impact of Gandhi's philosophy extends far beyond India's borders. His ideas have inspired countless movements for civil rights and social justice around the world, from the American Civil Rights Movement to the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. His life story has been studied and admired by activists, theologians, and world leaders alike, who recognize the transformative power of nonviolent resistance in the face of injustice and oppression. Even today, Gandhi's ideals continue to resonate in a world grappling with conflict and division. His message of peace, tolerance, and understanding serves as a reminder of the urgent need for dialogue and cooperation in addressing global challenges. In a world often dominated by violence and aggression, Gandhi's life and teachings offer a beacon of hope. demonstrating that nonviolent resistance and truth can be powerful forces for positive change. Gandhi's legacy is a testament to the power of one person's vision and determination to create a better world. He showed that through courage, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to principles, one person can indeed make a difference. As we reflect on his life and work, let us be inspired to embrace nonviolent resistance, stand up for justice, and strive to create a more peaceful and harmonious world. We hope you enjoyed this video about the biography of Mahatma Gandhi. If so, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on future videos. Also, please like this video and share it with your friends and family. Your support means everything to us, and we look forward to bringing you more informative and entertaining content in the future. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting updates.